Hi everyone, this is Dr. Traci K. I love you in this place. I am so excited to have you here for the Holy Week. We're going to be discussing a lot of fun stuff during the Holy Week, like Holy Monday, Holy Tuesday, Holy Wednesday, and Friday, Thursday. We'll be doing some rituals and events and discussing a spiritual vibe message. And it's based, of course, on my new book series, The Ashes to Beauty, Healing the Soul of a Woman. But we also have the Heavenly Crowns, which is for everyone. So invite a friend. Come on in if you need prayer requests or spiritual support. We are glad to have you. So come on in. I love you in this place, and I'll see you there, okay? Enjoy your spiritual vibe message. Welcome, this is Dr. Traci K. Welcome back to our Holy Week Ashes to Beauty series. Love you in this place. Hope you have come and joined us in our groups and in our online church for this series, for the book series, Ashes to Beauty, the Healing of the Soul of a Woman. But we also have the Heavenly Crowns in regards to the healing of a soul. This is for everything. We're wanting to come in, invite others, encourage. We're going to be learning about Jesus and understanding what it meant for this Holy Week on Rising of Ashes to Beauty and how that affects us today in the modern times and how we can learn from it. This is the Holy Wednesday, which is called the Spy Wednesday. And why is it called the Spy Wednesday? This is, again, the resources you can check out to look for this is in Mark, Matthew, and Luke, the 26, 22, 14 chapter. Also, you can find a lot and learn a lot about Jesus in chapter of John if you want to go to your resources. Spy Wednesday commemorates events where Judas agrees to betray Jesus. Now, Jesus was psychic, you guys. He was a metaphysician too, just like me. He could heal. He predicted all things that nobody else could see. I mean, he was very gifted. He was a son of David and son of Lord. And we are all created in the image of a sense. We all have creative talents and gifts in some way. And, healing is the main power of that. But we also have those that, are Judas, right? They're Judases. So Judas, he knew. Jesus already predicted and knew. Messaged already that he would do this to him. And before these events, though, something happens which sets him off during his time. Here's what happens. I love this. This is why I wanted to talk about this today. A woman comes to Jesus, and she wants to honor him and anoint him. And this is what I call very interesting because it kind of throws him off a little bit. This is what's really great about this, because this woman comes to, anoint Jesus' feet with expensive perfume and her tears. According to John, Judas, possibly joined by the other disciples, rebuked her for doing this. You know, like a bodyguard or something. Hey, stand back! You can't touch us! You can't touch the Lord, the King, Messiah. You know? And arguing the perfume could have been sold to provide money for the poor. And the Gospel of John follows this action. Interesting, because this action by observing, he did not say this because he cared about the poor, but because Judas was a thief. He was the thief. His job was, he was the keeper of the money bag. And he used to help himself to what was put into it. Did you know that? I didn't know that. He did. He was a little thief. And Jesus was like, put up with him like this. And Jesus responds by telling Judas, leave her alone. It was intended that she should save this perfume for the day of my burial. You will always have the poor among you, but you will not always have me. Oh, so amazing. The Gospels decide what Judas did next in several different ways in Mark and Matthew. And it goes directly from this event to Judas speaking to the chief priests. And what happens is he is somehow manipulated and somehow possessed in some way. Some people think that he was possessed. Satan enters Judas somehow. That, uses him. Because again, remember, the whole key for Jesus doing this was on that bigger picture level, to fight and destroy evil forever, and have that weapon, spiritual weapon for us to use today. Oh my goodness, so good. Aren't you just so grateful for that? Oh, I am. Come on now. Woo! Let's see some excitement and thankfulness and gratefulness in that chat room and comments. Okay? And regardless, after this rebuke from Jesus, Judas, I don't know, he was manipulated in some way, where he goes, I think he felt like, oh, well, I'm tired of him always snapping his like, And he didn't feel like he was appreciated. I don't know what it was, but it was a weakness and vulnerable, and Satan, or the evil, just, it got him good on that. And he is this grubby, greedy person, and Judas is. And I don't understand why they would let him hold the money bag if they all knew this, suspected that, especially Jesus, because he knew a lot. Always were. But I guess, I don't understand why he would do that, but the point is, he betrays his master. And Judas betrays him, going to these chief priests that, you remember we talked about in the last message on Holy Tuesday, about how they did all this trapping, trying to trap him, and, because, to arrest him or whatever. It's like they interrogated him, basically. I don't know. Like he was some terrorist or something back then, and, they're going to overthrow, and who does that, who's majority kind of thing. Well, the point is, after that, Judas goes to the priest. He goes, what will you give me if I turn him over to you? What will you do for me? Greedy. Ugh. And they say, well, you bring him to us, you get him, turn him over to us, we'll give you 30 pieces of silver to betray him. Yeah, 30 pieces of silver is what he got for Jesus. After that, he watched for an opportunity to hand Jesus over to them when no crowd was present. He really something. He was a spy. Judas was a spy. He was paid to spy on Jesus for the priests. What manners do you have that in your life? You know? A lot of people will always be on your best guard, guys. There's always a spy somewhere, maybe. Who knows? And you've got to be able to stand firm, not allow that to be all in the backstabber, so to speak. But he was a spy. And then we'll talk about what happened later on in our Holy Thursday episode. But Judas, this is where they had the Last Supper. And Judas attends this Last Supper. There's a lot of understanding, and they've made films about this, but it's been proven because of painting, because women were not allowed to be seen or heard or stuff in a high authority types of thing, and Jesus was high authority in some way, and he had the supper. No women don't serve him, but I guarantee you that woman, there is in that painting, if you look, people don't realize, well, that is a woman there that attends. But again, they serve his way. But this Last Supper he has with the disciples, which is amazing. We all want to know a lot more. We could learn so much about the Last Supper, which is really something we should take a look at. Maybe we'll do that on Good Friday, depending on that. But the point is, it led to this group where, these group of people to arrest Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. And this is what I love this part, because it reminds me of the Italians, Come here, I love you, guy. The Italians, what they do, that they kiss you goodbye, and sorry night, grab hold of your face and kiss you. Because you betrayed me and you betrayed your loyalty, and then see you later. Off with your head. So this was so funny. Jesus does this. He's not Italian, but, hey, where we must have got that from. Jesus identifies that as him being the betrayer, like he is, to the family. To the family. What you talking? He grabs his face, and Jesus kisses him. And I know you betrayed me like the Godfather. I don't know you betrayed me like the Godfather. And grabs him and kisses him. And he says, after some trouble and then all of a sudden, Jesus was arrested. It's an interesting reaction. Isn't it funny about this betrayal? I love it, actually. It's funny. Like the Godfather, you betrayed me. Oh, And so Judas, when he approached Jesus, responded, do what you came for, friend. Jesus saying, Judas, are you betraying the Son of Man? Here's the kiss. Given that Jesus knew he was going to be killed, his refusal to fight back is not surprising. It is just a little interesting to me, because in Luke's version of the chapter, it seems, depending on what you're reading, it seems to be prodding Judas. Fact is, Jesus uses the term Son of Man, describes as a Messiah figure who gains everlasting control of God's kingdom. Which, that can really get on nerves of people, Who do you think you are saying that? But emphasizing, knowing about this betrayal. Earlier in the Last Supper, Jesus told all his disciples that there would be this betrayer, this spy. There's a spy in our family. They're not supposed to be knowing it. Now, why is Judas so important for this story of this Holy Week on our way to Easter? Because he plays a crucial role in Jesus' death and resurrection by choosing to betray Jesus to the Jewish authorities. Judas helped set the plot in motion for Jesus to be crucified. The moment where Judas agreed to betray Jesus is one of the key dramatic moments in this passion story, setting the stage for the Last Supper now. So when we think of the coming up Judas, important because it highlights a tragic element of sad moments during the Holy Week, and how we need to look at that in our own life, to where, is there a betrayal in some way that weighs you down? It's a personal weight. And how do we understand that he is this wonderful and forgiving? Because we all have our days where we're not so keen to maybe, and we fall away from that. And because we're sinners, we understand that. But here is Jesus understanding. I understand you're going to do that, but come back to me. I know you love me deep down, but I understand, and I want to stop that evil because it's so overpowering, and bring this powerful weapon of my sacrifice, shedding of the blood, the crowning of the thorns, the efforts to allow you to seek me for forgiveness, to fight the good fight. I love this. It's such a wonderful message, because whether Judas is a callous behavior, Jesus understood that and then knew this was a part of the whole big thing. Now, in extended sense of personal betrayal, the falling asleep when Jesus needed company. Maybe Peter even did some. He wasn't always super loyal. Peter went on to did some great things, but he also betrayed Jesus in his own way by denying him 3 times a lot of times. This is what I'm talking about right now. We have sometimes where we feel let down or betrayed by our closest, those who love us, supposed to love us, or, in the thief. And we have to understand how to deal with those dark times and re-glory, and in the sacrifice of this, when they spy on you, whatever, where we can take our emotional, personal pain and give it to the highest power during this time, and consider these physical blows we do on our journey, spiritual journey, and understand that we can be resurrected to a new life, new beginning. And that's what we are so excited about, because we're in the half of the Holy Week. We're on our way. This is Ashes to Beauty week, Holy Week. And Ashes to Beauty, I wanted to do this for Holy Week because these book series are all about that. And they're stories that can really help you understand what we are as sinners and how we can come to Jesus and understand who he was and what he did as a story and a blessing. And I want you now to come together, breathe deep, put your hands in prayer mode to your heart center, and be grateful and thankful. And if you have any regrets or pain or personal pain, or those who have done this, betrayed you in some way, this is your time to say, I understand, and that this weapon of his sacrifice can pour and anoint you and cleanse you to protect you from any betrayal whatsoever. This is so great. You are protected from betrayal. You are given a new beginning, a new start. And if you want to receive this and confess this, bring your hands up to your third eye, forehead. Breathe this in and say, thank you for all that you've done for me. I blessed be Jesus' name. And if you want to declare and become new and fresh, vow to claim it. Yes. All right. See you on the next Spiritual Vibe message, guys. Enjoy.